Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to be putting together this card. I'm going to use some more recycled materials to kind of jazz up this card a little bit. Always look at your junk mail or items that you're thinking about getting rid of, because there's some great treasures that you can really add onto that card to make it pop. You saw me use this stamp recently, but I'm not quite ready to put it away yet, and I found this fun background that I had worked on. I don't even remember when. It was using some distress oxides, and it was a lot of fun to create, but I haven't done anything with it. So figured this would be a great time to bust out the unicorn stamp and this already made background, and we're going to put it together and see what we can come up with. So the first thing that I'm going to do is color in my unicorn stamp, and we'll get that ready to go. Today, since I'm going to be using my Copic markers, I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink to do the stamping with. I'm using my Tim Holtz stamp platform to stamp everything out today, and I'm actually going to be doing 2 sets of the little fairy creatures. I think I'm gonna probably want more than just the 2 on the front of the card. I'm not sure though. I'm stamping it out just in case. I may end up just going with 1 set, but we'll kind of play it by ear and see what happens. I'm gonna be cutting these out using the dies, so that's why I'm not really caring about like what position they're in or like how it all looks at the moment, because this is just for me to color on, and then once I get it all colored out, I'm going to then use the dies. Okay, I have finished my coloring. I just did basic coloring, that's why I didn't really show it and sped it up pretty quickly. Nothing too fancy. There's so many other great YouTubers out there who do amazing things with Copic markers. I'm not very good at it. So I do basic things and it works for me, so do what works for you. And if you need inspiration for Copic coloring, make sure to do a search for somebody who does some of the amazing Copic tutorials or whatever else here on YouTube. You can find people who are just great for that. I have die cut everything out, and now I'm going to use this Reverse Confetti die, which is brand new to me, so I'm going to use that. And some of you may be freaking out. This is an Erin Condren planner that you get whenever you purchase one of the big planners. They give you like this monthly little mini calendar, I guess it is. It's cute. I don't really use it though, so I'm going to use the back panel, and it just seems like too good to waste. Look how shiny that is. So I'm gonna recycle this and kind of keep that recycling spirit going from my last video, and we're gonna use this as some paper to use this die cut with. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, my Cuttlebug made some really bad noises whenever I did this, and I probably should not have done it. I don't think it's broken, but it definitely made some very big noises that scared me that I had broken it. I think everything's good though. Anyways, so I'm left with our die cut that we're going to use on this card, but then I also have a great textured circle that I can use on another project, so I'm going to set that over to the side of my desk and figure out when I can use that next. I have some Nina Solar White 110 pound cardstock. This is what I always use for my card bases because it's the perfect weight for it. Gives it some nice heft. Great color. This is pretty much industry standard, if you will, and it just works the best for me. But use whatever you feel works best for you, but know that a lot of people use this for their card bases. For my card panel, I'm going to use some Tombow Extreme adhesive. Because this is watercolor cardstock, I think this is watercolor cardstock, it's kind of warped over time, and especially with all the water that I used on it. So because of that, I'm using some very strong adhesive to make sure that it is really stuck down and will not come up over time or show that it was warped, because it is definitely very warped. So what I'm going to do is try to find the center as best as possible. There we go, we've gotten that as aligned as straightly as it's going to go on there. And next I'm going to take some foam adhesive, so I'm going to flip this over and use some foam adhesive to pop up this part of the card. Alright, I've got my foam adhesive. I did have to cut one of the strips in half so that way it would fit on either side. Trying to decide if I want it straight on or no. I always like a little bit off kilter look to it, so I think we'll put it right about there. I'm going to use just one foam square behind the unicorn because I kind of want to have it look like it is popping up from behind this tag. So I'm going to use one piece of foam tape right here behind the head, and then I'll kind of tuck the tail back behind the tag a little bit, so that way it looks a little more three-dimensional. I'll probably add, whoops, let's not stick it down just yet. I am going to add just a hair of adhesive to the tail, so that way it does stay down and I don't have to worry about it going weird or something happening in the mail. There we go. So we got the little unicorn popping out, and now it's time to glue down our little fairies. I probably should have done this a little bit sooner, but I totally forgot that I needed some sort of greeting or message or something. I don't have to put one on here, but it does help to kind of give them an idea of what this card is about. Anyways, I'm going to use VersaFine. I would like to do like heat embossing, but unfortunately I'm too afraid that the foam adhesive would like come back up after I use the heat tool on it, so we're going to use some VersaFine instead, and that should give it enough of a like contrast that people will be able to see it without too much trouble. Probably should have used some other things instead, like some white heat embossing powder, silver heat embossing powder, something like that, but you know, it happens. It's not a big deal. And it looks like it's just fine. Like, it still is very legible, and I don't have to worry about the message disappearing too much into the background. So I am going to hit this one more time with some more ink just to make sure that I have the best impression possible. And that way it's very legible. Yeah, that works. And by the way, this sentiment came inside the stamp set. So this belongs to the unicorn stamp set. Okay, now it is time to put the little fairy details on, and I'm just going to put them randomly across the card. I'm not going to pop them up because it would require such a small little amount of adhesive, so I think I'm just going to stick them around the front of the card. There we go, there's today's card using some more recycled materials and a really cute stamp set. In my opinion, rainbows and unicorns are always a great combination for a card. I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you like my video, and then hopefully YouTube will then share it across YouTube land. Also guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, hit subscribe, and click the bell notification icon to get great updates every time I post a new video or go live. You can also get social with me by following my social media links down in the description below. Make sure to go get social with me over on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and more. I hope to see you over there and say hello. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!